Today, we're counting down the top 10 horror movies that will freak you out, keep you on the edge of your seat, and maybe even make you sleep with the lights on. From supernatural scares to relentless killers and twisted psychological thrillers, these movies have it all.
I'm in here.
Our number 10 countdown is Siren. This is a horror movie about a bachelor party that takes a very dark turn. The story follows Jonah, who goes out with his friends to celebrate before his wedding. They end up at a strange underground club where things feel off from the start. There, Jonah meets a mysterious woman named Lily. At first, she seems quiet and attractive, but soon it's revealed she's not human. She's a siren, a dangerous creature that lures and destroys. Once she's released, everything spirals out of control, and Jonah and his friends find themselves trapped in a nightmare. The film is actually based on a short story from the horror collection V/H/S, where Lily first appeared. Her character was so memorable that she got this full movie. Siren is more about suspense, creepy atmosphere, and the idea of a fun night turning into something terrifying. It's not heavy on gore, but it keeps a steady sense of tension and unease.
Night. It ain't over.
Our number 9 countdown is Dark Harvest. This is a horror movie set in a small town in the 1960s. Every Halloween, a monster called Sawtooth Jack comes out of the cornfields. The town's boys have to hunt him down before he reaches the church. The boy who kills the monster wins prizes like money, a car, and the chance to leave town. This time, a teenager named Richie joins the hunt. But during the night, he learns the truth about the town's dark tradition and the real secret behind Sawtooth Jack. The film mixes horror with suspense, showing how far people will go to protect their secrets. It's dark, tense, and has that creepy Halloween atmosphere that makes it perfect for a late-night watch. If you like stories about small towns hiding scary traditions and monsters with a twist, Dark Harvest is worth checking out.
No one beats him.
He's like a monster.
Our number 8 countdown is Run, Sweetheart, Run. This is a horror thriller that mixes survival and supernatural elements. Every Halloween, the story is about Sherry, a single mother who works hard to balance her job. The town's boys have to hunt him down one night before he reaches the church. Her boss sets her up on a blind date. The boy who kills the monster wins prizes like money, at first, a car, Ethan seems polite and charming. This time, but very quickly, a teenager named Richie joins the hunt. He turns violent during the night, and Sherry learns the truth about the town's dark tradition. What follows is a real secret, terrifying night across Los Angeles. The film mixes horror with suspense, but showing how far people will go to protect their secrets. He's not just a regular man. It's dark. There's something unnatural about him. Creepy Halloween he has a way of controlling situations and making sure the people around stories about small towns hiding scary traditions and monsters. It feels like the odds are stacked against her. As the night goes on, Sherry learns that Ethan's power is tied to something much darker and older than she first thought. To survive, she has to dig deep and find her own strength, refusing to give in to the fear he feeds on.
You hear me?
Our number 7 countdown is Dark Harvest. This is an Irish horror thriller set in a small town in the 1960s, where science experiments go horribly wrong. A monster called the story takes place on a remote cornfields, run by the town's boys have to hunt him down. He's struggling financially, the church, so he agrees to let the monster use his cows for genetic testing, a car, hoping it will lead to stronger livestock. This time, but instead of a teenager named Richie, experiments create something terrifying. But during the night, the cows start showing about the town's dark tradition and the real secret. And soon Dan realizes the experiments have produced mixes horror with suspense. When one of the cows gives birth, will go to protect the calf is born with horrifying defects, tense, and inside it hides a Halloween atmosphere that makes it perfect for a late night watch. The farm turns into a nightmare small towns hiding scary traditions and monsters with a twist. Nearby. Dark Harvest is worth checking out. Along with a couple living in a trailer on the farm and the scientists involved, try to survive the outbreak. But the creatures are fast, vicious, and nearly impossible to contain. With the farm completely cut off from the outside world, the group has no choice but to face the horror head-on.
Ashes, dust to dust.
Our number 6 countdown is A House on the Bayou. This is a horror thriller set in the deep Louisiana countryside. The story follows Jessica and John, a married couple whose relationship is falling apart. Hoping to fix things, Jessica rents a big, isolated house on the bayou for a weekend getaway with their daughter, Anna. But instead of peace, the family finds themselves caught in something sinister. Not long after they arrive, two locals, Isaac and his grandfather, show up at the house. At first, they seem friendly, even a little charming, but soon their behavior turns unsettling. They keep showing up uninvited, acting as if they belong there, and their strange knowledge about the family makes everything even more disturbing. As the night goes on, the tension explodes. Jessica realizes that Isaac and his grandfather are not just regular people. They're connected to something supernatural, almost like forces of judgment. They know the family's secrets, and their visit isn't random. What started as a family retreat quickly turns into a night of terror where no one is safe, and the truth about betrayal, guilt, and punishment comes to light.
Her. Only I can do that.
Our number 5 countdown is The Deeper You Dig. This is an indie horror drama with a slow, eerie style. The story follows Ivy, a mother who works as a tarot card reader and psychic in a small rural town. She lives with her teenage daughter, Echo, and even though times are tough, they share a close bond. One snowy night, a man named Kurt, who is fixing up a nearby house, accidentally hits Echo with his truck. Panicked and terrified of the consequences, he tries to cover up what happened. But death doesn't end Echo's presence. Her spirit lingers, and the connection between mother and daughter doesn't break. As Kurt sinks deeper into guilt and paranoia, strange and disturbing events start happening around him. Ivy, using her intuition and psychic abilities, begins to sense the truth. The film shifts into a haunting battle between Ivy's desperate search for answers and Kurt's unraveling mind as the ghost of Echo becomes more and more impossible to ignore. The movie is a family project made by the Addams family, not the famous spooky one, but the filmmakers John Adams, Toby Poser, and their daughter Zelda, who plays Echo. It has a very atmospheric, homemade feel, snow-covered landscapes, quiet tension, and creepy visuals that focus more on mood than gore.
Just accept it.
Our number 4 countdown is We Are Still Here. This is a supernatural horror set in a quiet, snowy New England town. The story follows Ann and Paul, a grieving couple who move into an old farmhouse after the death of their son. They hope the change of place will help them heal, but the house carries a dark history that refuses to stay buried. Soon after moving in, Ann begins to feel her son's presence in the house. At first, she believes his spirit might be reaching out to them. But the truth is far more disturbing. The house is haunted, and the spirits inside are not friendly. Strange noises, shadows in the halls, and sudden bursts of violence begin to terrorize the couple. The locals seem polite but distant, and as Ann and Paul dig deeper, they learn that the farmhouse sits on cursed land. Every 30 years, the spirits rise, demanding new souls to feed their rage. The town itself hides a bloody secret, and the house becomes a trap for anyone who dares to live there. The movie builds its scares with a mix of old-school haunted house chills and bursts of graphic violence. The snowy, isolated setting adds to the hopeless atmosphere, making it feel like escape is impossible.
This isn't the end.
Our number 3 countdown is The Void. This is a Canadian horror film that blends cult horror, cosmic terror, and old-school creature effects. The story begins with a small-town police officer, Daniel, who finds a bloodied man on the side of the road late at night. He rushes him to a nearly empty hospital, where his estranged wife, Allison, works as a nurse. But soon, the hospital becomes the center of a nightmare. Outside, a group of mysterious hooded cult members surround the building, trapping everyone inside. Inside, strange and violent events unfold. Patients and staff begin transforming into grotesque, inhuman creatures. The survivors realize they are caught between a murderous cult and something far more terrifying that's trying to break into their world. As Daniel and the others fight to survive, they uncover the truth. The hospital is hiding a gateway to another dimension, and the cult's leader is using it to summon an ancient, godlike force. The deeper they go, the more reality unravels, with visions of endless voids and horrors beyond human understanding. Our number 2 countdown is Suspiria. This is a supernatural horror movie set in 1970s Berlin. The story follows Susie Banyan, a young American dancer who joins a world-famous dance academy. On the surface, it looks like a place of art and discipline, but behind the curtains, something much darker is going on. Students start disappearing, and the atmosphere inside the school feels more like a trap than a safe space. Susie grows closer to her teacher, Madame Blanc, while strange visions and disturbing events surround her. Slowly, it becomes clear that the academy is run by a secret coven of witches, and the dance performances are tied to their rituals. As Susie rises in the company, the truth about the academy unravels, leading to a shocking and bloody climax where witchcraft, power, and sacrifice take center stage.
He ain't never gonna stop, is he?
Our number 1 countdown is Brimstone. This is a dark thriller with strong horror and Western elements. The story follows Liz, a young woman living in a small, isolated town in the Old West. She faces constant fear and abuse from Reverend Stanton, a harsh and fanatical preacher who seems to have a personal vendetta against her. The film is told in a non-linear way, jumping back and forth through different parts of Liz's life. We see her as a young girl, a mother, and a woman on the run, and piece together the reasons why Stanton is obsessed with her. His relentless pursuit forces Liz to fight for her survival while hiding the truth about her past. Brimstone is intense, grim, and full of tension. The violence is strong and often shocking, but it's used to show the horrors Liz has to endure. The movie combines Western landscapes, a sense of isolation, and psychological terror to create a very dark and unsettling atmosphere.